Untold masses of humanity are teeming throughout the stars. In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is only war.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Fable Scraps' DoomLore, a 40k story. Before we get started, I just want to thank, oh my god, there's so much has happened in chat just in the last few moments. I'm so sorry, just give me like 1 second to catch up on this. Emotionally, let me catch up on all of this. It looks like, Chalupacabra.
K-pop emotes.
Chalupacabra, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. That's wonderful.
Finally, I got all the K-pop emotes. This is what I was working towards.
This is a weekly show that we do here at twitch.tv. We here at Fable Scraps believe in audience participation to a degree. If you would like to affect this story in any way, consider the exclamation point coin or a donation to the stream in the form of an addition to one of our fates. There's a mechanic in this game called fate points. Each individual character gets a certain number of fate points, and we can use them for all manner of things, like re-rolling or doing something really cool. If we are out of fate points, what happens, Ollie?
Very likely death.
So keep us alive with exclamation point coin. My name is Nicotine. If I sound okay to you, please press 1 in chat. I do a lot of roleplay on my own channel. That's Nikatine. I do a lot of like Grand Theft Auto roleplay, and there we are. Okay, perfect. Next up, I'd like to go around and just introduce everyone we have here. First up, our lovely DM, Ollie Ollerant. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Ollie.
I'm Ollie. I do just a jumble of things, largely creative. Follow me on Twitter at OllieRant, where I'm working on a comic, I'm working on a board game series, I'm streaming waifu collecting games, I'm doing a little bit of everything. D&D homebrew, it's everything you'd ever want.
Well, that sounds wonderful. How do you spell Ollerant?
Olirant. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. I think that's the first time.
Well, we have a lot of listeners through our podcast,
For sure.
podcast here on Stitcher and Spotify, if you all are interested. Next up, we have Lucid Fox playing Caius. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Lucid.
I'm Lucid. I am also a fox. Both of those things are true. I stream on the twitch.tv/LucidFox 5 days a week and talk about politics. And that's Lucid Fox on all the places. Twitter, Twitch, OnlyFans, all the stuff.
Well, lovely. How do people spell Lucid Fox?
LucidFoxx.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and boost your volume a little bit over here.
Yeah. Make me louder. I mean, I could make myself louder a little bit too.
All right, perfect. Next up, we have Locke the Raven playing Ohm13. Locke, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm Locke the Raven, like the thing you put on a locker, the word "the" and the bird. I do a lot of role-playing, a lot of RPGs, things like that. Also do a lot of voice work. On my social media and my Twitch are just at Locke the Raven.
Wonderful. And it's sounding like everybody's a little bit quiet today. Could I get you to spell Locke the Raven for us?
LockTheRaven.
Perfect. Thank you, Locke. Next up, we have Distracted Elf. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Distracted Elf.
Hello, friends. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf, where I do all kinds of Twitch streaming stuff and RPG stuff. I also run the Roll20 Presents stream on Mondays on the twitch.tv/D&D channel. If you need a spelling of my name, because that seems to be the trend, it is DISTRACTEDELF.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And last but not least, our sweet, soft boy, Enovan.
Hello there. I'm Enovan. I'm a Twitch streamer. I stream on twitch.tv/Enovan, and I typically stream VR/mixed reality games. And Enovan is spelled ENEVUN.
Wonderful. And people can find you on your Twitch stream.
Correct.
Perfect.
And Twitter.
All right, wonderful. Well, welcome everyone to episode 3 of DoomLore, a 40k story. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, given bits, donated to the stream. It means the world to us here at Fable Scraps, and we hope that we can continue to provide for you hours and hours of mind-numbing entertainment. All around. How much fate does everyone start with?
You all start with 4, aside from Scythia, who starts with 2. This is at the beginning of every session, so make sure to update your fate, especially on your character tokens, which in theory ship to the character sheet, but this character sheet is very complicated, so keep an eye on it. But chat can actually boost your fate score higher if they really want to see you beat some guys up.
Wonderful. Well, take it away, Ollie. We're all ready.
Okay, so you are aboard the Sibilance on a journey to your destination on the request of an Inquisitor. You actually haven't met the Inquisitor who's brought this retinue together yet. This is an adventure before any of that has happened. Aboard the Sibilance, you've had some encounters. You've interrogated some people and found some shady stuff going on. You've chased a member of the Sibilance's machine cult down to the cargo bay area, specifically an area where they are herding groks. Fresh groks. It's a very, very large herd animal that's like if you domesticated Godzilla's, more or less. In this chamber, for it is so large but also out of the way, and the people who work there, it doesn't require the largest amount of crew, a fight pit seems to be a regular occurrence. When you got down here earlier, the fight pit was in full swing, incredibly violent. In fact, the woman who has been beating on any and all takers is still fighting and smashing people within... people might be dead, it's very hard to tell. You did manage to find the member of the machine cult you were looking for who tampered with the bridge of the ship in some way. They attempted to shoot you with an auto pistol. I may have said auto gun before, it's a smaller one. But Risa easily disarmed and actually crunched the pistol in a large gauntleted hand. And that's where we were left off, with all of you together around this captured machine cult member, who's not manacled or anything like that yet. Aside from Yen, who is still kind of amongst the crowd. Yen can join the party if they want. You're not very far away, but you are noticeably outside of the crowd, right? You're not very subtle right now. Yen is kind of one of them. You know, it's up to you if you want to stay, hang out.
Crowd surfed away.
Yen will probably regroup with the group.
Okay, good to know.
Hey, what I miss?
A lot of... I believe when you get back to the group, Scythia and Risa basically have this guy cornered. And the Mechanicus member actually has knelt on the ground. One, it was like, as in either in a sign of surrender or maybe prayer. It's very hard to tell because it's very hard to read their face. They actually have their eyes still, unlike Ohms, who's had them replaced or covered. but they're not telling you anything. Their mechanical legs clink down on the ground, and they just sort of kneel there. While I believe you brought Ohm in to kind of start questioning them in the language of the Mechanicus.
Oh,
That's where we're at.
are you able to communicate with this creature?
Affirmative.
Will you communicate with this creature on our behalf?
Ohm will not answer Risa, but instead will look at the kneeling machine cult figure, and he'll start speaking to him in the, I guess you could say, common language of the Mechanicus, for them anyway. Which would...
Yeah, Technolingua.
The Technolingua, which sounds like a series of controlled static pulses and garbled machine language that really no one outside of it would understand. Should I send you? I'll send you like a DM as to what.
No, I'm not for hidden messages. These guys just don't know what you're saying. What would you like to communicate to this guy with? Bear in mind, the Technolingua is like kind of a language where you can convey messages and ideas a lot easier than sentences, right? So what are you kind of gonna be talking to him about?
Ohm would basically give him. Ohm would give a standard, explain your deviation from standard protocol, things like that.
Is it appropriate to give you a roll? You know what? The first time you ask, there is a delay. This figure is kneeling. Their eyes do not address you. In fact, they close. Then they start to speak. Again, Technolingua starts to leave the speakers built into their respirator mask. At the same time, the glass tubes connected to it start to mist. But it doesn't seem to be addressing you. Technolingua is a machine language. It's actually quite clear who you're talking to when you're talking. That's one of the main things. But they are just talking outward, but very quietly. Only really the lot of you can hear it, although it does kind of drone. Technolingua is a droning language.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears to be some kind of prayer, but it's not one that you are immediately well-versed in. If you're interested, Ohm, you can give me a Technolingua check with a plus 20.
With a plus 20?
Yeah, because this is a language you're well-versed in, and you're well-versed in the prayers of the Mechanicus, so it's kind of, where does this deviate, right?
Ooh, yep, definitely not picking
that
up.
is not good. That is a 97 when you were looking for a 60. So these prayers are, I won't say dumbfounding. I don't know if Ohm can be dumbfounded. But you don't know to what end this Cult Mechanicus member is praying to.
I would chalk it up to it being such a contained group of Mechanicus. They have so many
Of course. Yeah.
internal...
This group you're dealing with is not really intimately connected to the Mechanicus as a whole, because this is a private vessel that has been isolated for hundreds of years.
Well, Ohm will just turn back to Risa and just...
Answer is unclear.
I see.
But he's going to keep studying and seeing what this other tech priest will do. Perhaps Could I roll to have him do like a little scan of this guy with his?
I was gonna say an awareness check. Yeah, I will give you actually a plus 30 to this
Okay.
for a reason that will become clear if you succeed. I'm not just being nice to Ohm today. I'll be mean later. You got a 25 when you're looking for a 62. You notice that the body temperature of the machine cult member is rising, which on its own might not be that weird. You notice this because your optical mechadendrite, the kind of disconnected eye that you have connected via a mechanical limb, can see in infrared. So you can basically watch their body temperature rise. Now, some members of the machine cult, when they are highly cybernetically replaced, can very well control their body temperature. And the body type of this Mechanicus member is very similar to a Skitari. It's clearly Skitari inspired. So it's likely that that's a feature, but it's very weird to be doing it right now. But it does appear to be deliberately rising his body temperature. And actually, you notice that kind of when scanning the room, almost like as procedure, that among the crowd, several members of the crowd among the fighting pit actually have a raised body temperature.
So is it just elevated, or am I watching his, or is Ohm seeing his body temperature like actively like he's ramping it up, or is he just running?
It's increasing, but he's not like about to explode or anything. It's increasing within
acceptable
borderline
limits?
the realms a human can be in. It's kind of on the edge. But that with Ohm's knowledge, I mean, you're not a biologist,
Right.
but it's just a number, right? So you're like, that's a dangerous number. Probably your mechadendrite would say that, would basically convey that information to you because you're watching a humanoid's temperature increase and it's dangerous.
Right. Ohm will turn back to Risa and just.
I have detected elevated temperature levels in the subject. Advise caution.
And then he's just. Ohm, for his part, is just going to slowly back off from that just a little bit.
Walk away.
Well, the mechadendrite can go 3 meters. He doesn't need to be right there.
So Ohm is going to walk away from the suspect, but your mechadendrite eye tentacle is going to still be like in his face.
Yeah, it'll still be.
Okay.
Is
I'm just making sure that chat has that image in their
Yeah,
mind.
he's basically he just floats backwards a little bit, and then the mechadendrite just keeps feeding out until it's at its limit.
Yeah, that's really good. What are the rest of you thinking? Because you're all kind of around this guy right now.
I mean, on the
Who is-
notice that his temperature is rising, Cynthia's first thought is that he might explode.
Yeah.
So she's nearby, but like she probably takes 1 or 2 steps back, ready to like dive out of the way if it becomes necessary, but close enough also to like do something if she needs to.
Yeah, like within 1 movement away, which is more or less what Ohm did as well. Although I think Ohm actually has lower speed.
Caius is going to back away as well, so this can't be pinned on him. He didn't have anything to do with this and catching on fire, you know?
Risa, are you going to stay in
not
class?
that he didn't try, but, you know.
I will back away slowly, but I will keep facing this creature, and I'll ask Ohm. Ohm, is this the result of some kind of pox?
Negative.
Well, the Cult Mechanicus member is going to stand now that you've all kind of blossomed away from him. And actually, for some of you, that may put you quite close to the electrified walls that are keeping the Grox at bay. Maybe there's a zap of electricity a bit behind you that reminds you not to walk into them. They're designed to keep these massive reptiles at bay. They would probably just kill you if you stumbled into them. But he will stand. Doesn't look like it's going to run right away, although Ohm would know that probably can run quite fast and quite quick if it needed to. But the droning will get louder. The droning, the prayers in this machine language, essentially code. And combined with the sound of the brawl, the fighting from the fighting pit that is still going on, and the cheering of people trying to make bets, trying to bet their hours at certain services aboard the ship, and trying to bet contraband and things like that. It's just rising and rising and rising until you hear yelling addressed at the group of you. One member on the side of the crowd, who is clearly a merchant, they're wearing sort of different garb compared to most of the people aboard the ship, points. Their figure shudders, as if on a broken cognitor screen, or a broken data slate. Their eyes are glowing with a red light that projects outwards. You can almost see the light projecting out of their cheeks as well. And all of a sudden, this voice projects and booms as if kind of from a loudhailer, while they are readying a revolver. Well-maintained revolver from their person, and they yell, "They're trying to break up the fight!" Like, loud. It might be kind of a little too loud for some of your ears. What's interesting, though, is that not everyone in the crowd actually turns. A lot of people stop. Only a few members turn. Oh! Everyone who's turned has an increased body temperature right now. Most of them just members of the crowd. And 3 of them are going to start moving towards you, while this one basically uses one of those sticky loader things to load all the rounds in the revolver and starts
I get my weapon into my hand.
Yeah, this is roll initiative.
Can I roll a perception check before we do this to see if these folks are possessed?
I think that's going to have to be on your turn, friend.
Okay.
I will allow the equip of one weapon, right? Like one equipment thing. Because this isn't happening all at once. It's not a surprise round or anything either. So for initiatives, remember to click on your character tokens, and it'll be the initiative button, the agility initiative button. While I roll for all the other friendly people.
Friendly people.
They all have the same agility. None of them are going to have higher agility than that.
Oh, okay. Well, I messed up.
We like that. Now, the machine cultist is also in his turn order, but you did break his gun. It's... Well, who knows if they have more equipment. We'll see. That looks to be everyone, and as is fitting, Scythia would be first of all to act. Now, I'm not actually putting this on a battle map because it's a crowd. I thought it'd be quite hard to kind of show that via a battle map. But you guys are... When you would have backed up from the cultists, would you have actually backed up towards the crowd or kind of to the side or away?
To the side.
That kind of determines where you're standing right now. So you don't go to the side.
I don't have any other locational data, so like we are at a distance from the crowd with this.
Yes, you would be. So for the locational data from beforehand, you would be sort of if you guys didn't run away from the guy who was about to explode, step away. You would be 6 meters from the crowd, right? If you went closer, you could end up, sort of 3 feet closer, or 3 meters closer.
Are all of these 3 guys like aiming weapons? Do we have like guns in hands,
The
or like what are we looking at?
From the crowd are readying knives and shanks and...
You said one of them had a gun, right?
Excellent.
It's a stub revolver.
The merchant has a gun, and he's actually a little further away. He's kind of from the edge of the crowd. So he's more or less 8 meters from the machine cultist right now.
What's the cover situation like between here and there?
Now, cover, almost completely open, unless you count human bodies.
Great.
But for a running,
So we can make cover,
for
you're
running,
saying, yeah.
because the merchant is on the edge of the crowd, you can just skirt around the crowd. Like, they're not going to be a
movable
problem
cover.
if right now, especially if you made a charge move. Now, sort of beside you is actually a cache of the maintenance suppliers for this floor. Several large lock boxes and engineering crates and things like that. And behind that are these electrical walls. So there is cover for those who want to take cover. For cover obscuring your sprinting charge, not so much.
Cool. Well, then nearest knife-wielding individual, I will, with my chainsword in hand, run directly towards them in a charge. And what I'm gonna try and do is keep him between me and the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
So that if I take him out, I can hold the body up like human shield style, or if we're still fighting, he'll be in the way.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Your charge
yeah.
will give you a plus 20 to your weapon skill attack on this chainsaw strike.
Skill chain blade. So
right.
here we go. Modifier plus 20, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I rolled a 93. I did not hit.
That is not a hit. Okay, a 93 when
No.
you're looking for a 62.
And a charge is
run-
a full action, so I am done.
Yeah, that's your whole turn. Although you do have reactions.
Of course,
just
yeah.
Sprint up to this person, but a bit of your mind is trying to plan around this encounter, right? Like,
I mean, there's
where's
two
the
other
best place to be?
Yeah, there's two other people with melee weapons. I'm going to assume other people will handle, and I'm going to try and keep this guy with the gun in a straight line between me and the person I'm fighting.
Focusing on that is just enough to kind of take your mind off the weapon skill and wielding a chain blade, which for those who are new to 40k is essentially a chainsaw sword.
It's a little shorter.
Yeah, it's a little shorter. This is the small version, which means that you're just obvious enough for this individual to kind of tumble and move out of the way, and actually retaliate.
Okay.
We'll deal with the one right beside you first, because obviously that's the most fun. Although you know that the knives that they're wielding are not that dangerous. After all, one person did attack Risa with a knife like this, and it didn't even tickle them.
I don't have nearly as much armor as Risa does.
Yeah, you've got... You know, Risa has several inches of ceramite all over their body. You have, like, a little bit of leather.
I have an armored body glove, yeah.
Okay. They are going to make a standard attack. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, bring it on.
That is a failure, getting an
Ooh,
88,
not.
so the first swing with the knife is nothing, but of course they get 2 actions.
Yes, another attack.
No.
Also,
This is not a trained combatant. You are far more trained in the combat arts and basically all forms than these people.
yeah,
they're
I like
swinging
to
wildly at
think
you,
of it as not their failure but my success. You know what I mean? Like they're
positivity.
They're doing well, but I'm doing better. It's fine.
When it comes to the rest of the crowd, one is going to charge Ohm 13.
That is a risky prospect. Lucky, that is a brave man.
For fun.
It is going to give them a plus 20 to their check, and it is going to be their full turn. And it's actually going to be a success, getting a 20 when they were looking for a 50. Ohm, of course, not being the one to sort of move out of the way of something like this. They will run knife brandished and just swing into this very imposing figure. Ohm is a very imposing figure, right? Terrifying looking. But their knife is not all that dangerous. we'll see how much damage it does. So that will be 7 wounds, or 7 damage. What? And first I need to check where in the body it will hit. With a 20, that's going to be a strike to the head, Ohm.
Oh no.
And we were talking about this earlier today on Discord. Ohm does not have any head armor, really, do you? You have your toughness of 3, and that's it. So you're going to actually take 4 wounds from that. Now remember, in this system, wounds count up, unlike something like D&D where you have health that tracks down. You really need to worry when you get above half of your wound score. That's when things really start to become a trouble. But that's a devastating strike, and honestly quite impressive that this random individual, while enraged, managed to drive the knife into the mass of wires and cables that is Ohm's face, and it cut and scraped and slashed at something. There is one more crowd member, and they're going to charge at Ricer.
Cult? What cult?
Cult? What cult? There's nothing about any cult. So it's going to be the same roll, but at Ricer. And it's going to be a success as well. Now, Ricer has a lot more... by instinct, when I type in trying to roll these 1d5s, I instinctively type GM roll. I'm like, no, I shall not sneakery. Let's see what we get. So that'll be 5. It would be, again, a hit to the face. What's your head armor, Ricer?
My head armor is 5? Is that right?
Let me check on your sheet.
Sorry.
So your head armor is well, your head damage reduction is 9 because you combine your armor plus your toughness. So it's 9, which means even this strike to the face does nothing to you.
It's adorable.
Completely absorb all damage.
It tickles.
Super cute.
Considering it did the exact same amount of damage as your armor, it probably nearly scraped sort of the face gap in the armor.
You know what it did hurt? It hurt my heart.
Of course.
It hurt my feelings.
Big heart.
Hurt my feelings.
That's the crowd's turn.
Just put Rice at the front and, like, just watch them all pathetically swing in with knives to no effect.
Hurt
That-
them more.
Is an optimal strategy. Ohm, you've been injured. How'd you like to retaliate?
Well, not to fuss on that, because I was just looking at the hit location thing, and a 20 says it's supposed to be the right arm.
You flip it. Remember on hit location, you flip the number of the dice. So if you roll anything with a 0,
All right.
Yeah.
it is a almost always going to be in the head.
Well, a belch of chemicals is going to erupt out of the stab into his hood.
Yeah.
And let's see. What do I want to use here?
Now, would Ohm have... So I kind of let you free equip a weapon at the start of the fight. Would Ohm have done that? Because you haven't really done that before.
No, he wouldn't have had a weapon equipped, but with someone coming out, with someone blatantly attacking him, the manipulator on his back is going to rotate out. And it says I can use it as a half action or a reaction.
Yes. Your manipulator arm basically can be used as a weapon, yes?
Yeah.
Let me check. I believe it's an unwieldy weapon, which I think sounds right. You can use it as a weapon, a half action or action to make a standard attack. It's a melee weapon with 1d10 plus 2 impact damage. So, we can put that on your character sheet if we haven't already.
I think I have it there.
In the gear section.
Yeah, I have it.
Yep.
1d10 plus 2
You
impact.
you can basically just use it as a regular weapon then. A standard attack gives you a +10. Oh well, you can only of course use this once per round, unlike other weapons which you can do multiple times. But +10.
Yeah, I'll say it's gonna unfold, and he's just gonna try to smash down on top of
It's a bonk.
person. Yeah, just give him a.
You played Mechanicus. That's what they do. They straight up bonk people with them.
Yeah, he's just gonna try to Super Mario hammer the shit out of that thing in an effort to, get it away.
Let's see what we get.
I want to do that with weapon skill. Let's see.
If you just go to the gear section of your character sheet, you should be able to just attack with your manipulator arm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a hit button
Oh, all right.
on
And
the right side of it.
so if I do a full aim on that, can I do?
You actually can. So you can't do a full aim, but you could use your first half action, because basically two actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 half actions. You could use a half action to do a half aim, which is a +10, which would give you a +20 on this attack. But that'd be your full turn. But that's honestly kind of a good idea, and so it seems like what Ohm would do, right? Take the moment to measure the strike.
Yeah. So he's just gonna go all in on trying to pulverize the thing in front of him. Let's see if he can do it.
Let me know when that rolls as I go through the character sheets real quick. That is sadly...
Oh hell, I'll do a
miss.
fate point and swing that thing again.
Yeah, bring
Hell
it in.
yeah! You can use a fate point to re-roll dice at any time.
Yep. we're just
Is
gonna
that
do-
correct? I just want to check. You've got a +40 on that somehow. You should not have a +40. You should have a +20.
How's that go?
If you go to the hit section,
Yeah, and then it goes into aim. So
yeah, you
'cause
go
it's got
half
a lot of
aim.
drop downs dropping in here.
You know what? Let me just look at it real quick. Half aim, attack type, standard. That's what you're looking for. It's okay. There's a lot of... This is a very gnarly system with a lot of specifics to it that all kind of connect together. So occasionally you gotta meet your way through
No,
it.
it's just not happening for him.
It's just not happening. That is a 7-9 when you're looking for a 56, which is a much more reasonable attack stat. But of course, it is an unwieldy thing. You're trying to attack with this giant servo arm, this maintenance arm on your back, and even if you take the time to aim
He's
the best
more or
you
less
can,
trying to drive whoever's in front of him away from him.
it's definitely giving you a little bit of time in which that individual is not attacking you, which is something.
Yeah. So that'll be
With
that
that
for
being
him.
your whole turn,
Yep.
next is Risa, who also has a member of the enraged crowd in front of her.
I'd like to click on my loudhailer and address the crowd.
Attention armed citizens. You are engaged in an illegal assembly. By holy order of the Emperor, disarm yourself and surrender immediately. Failure to disarm and surrender will be met with overwhelmingly lethal force.
Alright, that'll be a half action to make an intimidate check. It's only going to be a difficult check.
I love how the words overwhelmingly lethal force are used again, and there's like currently I am in a combat with a chain blade, like trying to kill this man in front of me.
It's a catchphrase.
Intimidate?
Intimidate, it's a difficult check with a -10. If you do have a success, your degrees of success will influence how much this affects the crowd.
So I clicked on intimidate, and then it's just for target modifier is -10.
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to spend a fate point.
Yeah. Would you like to spend that to increase it to
Yes.
a +0, essentially?
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead. That was absolutely worth it.
Nice.
Looking for a 42, you rolled a 41. Okay. So that is a success. It is no degrees of success, though, which does matter. As your voice booms throughout the chamber, the fighting, the crowd stops. The crowd as a whole. The 4 individuals currently fighting you seem to have no interest in stopping. But the crowd, who are kind of still focused on the fighting pit, suddenly realize that there is a member of the Adeptus Arbites here, the police force of the Imperium, who is telling them to disperse, and
Telling them to
going
surrender.
telling them to surrender. They're gonna start, dropping any weapons in which they do have. The fight's gonna stop, all that sort of thing, which is kind of important because the big bulky woman who was in the center of the fighting pit kind of looked like she might have progressed towards fighting a lot of you right now, but considering the whole crowd is starting to die down, her energy is as well. That didn't stop the current combatants you are fighting, however, who, despite you blaring this in the ear of the person right beside you, they are still trying to move around you to get another attack with their knife with a uncomfortably wide grin.
There's
You still
something
have another
wrong
half
with
action.
there's something wrong with this one. Something that needs to be corrected. Can I attack with my half action?
Yep. A standard attack is a +10 weapon score using your shock maul, yeah?
Yep, my shock maul. I'd like to go for the legs if I can. I'd like to break his legs.
So, yes, called shots are a separate mechanic.
Oh.
That is a -20 check. So instead of having a +10, you have a -20, but you will attack the legs specifically.
I'd like to do it, and I'd like to spend a fate point to do it.
Hell yeah. So that would instead just be a -10. Although I think in the actual attack section, you can tell it that you're doing a called shot, and then you're spending a fate instead of putting in the modifier specifically.
Oh, okay. So, where do I call this shot?
Okay. In your gear section, we have your weapons, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you press the hit button with your shock maul, it'll give you a bunch of pop-ups, which is
Oh.
why it took us a sec to do Law's attack.
I see.
If you say it's a called shot, it will apply those modifiers directly, and then it should give you a chance to put in a further modifier of
Have
+10.
a half aim, full aim, or no aim.
No aim,
Okay.
because you don't have any other actions on your turn.
Got it. And then just submit.
Did it ask you for a modifier at the end?
Oh, it says attack type, all out charge, standard, swift attack.
Yeah.
It's just standard.
Mm.
Or
No aim. Oh, interesting. It doesn't have a cold shot. That's interesting. It should. Okay, what are we gonna do here? One sec. Let me. I might roll an attack. We ignore this if it happens. Standard. Ooh. Nika, a cold shot is a full action. You actually cannot make a cold shot right now
I see.
because you've already used a half action. So
Well,
if
then-
you want to just make a standard attack instead and see where it hits,
I'll
then
just
that's
try
fine.
to obliterate him then.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could not have to kill him, but so just a hit then?
Yeah,
Hit,
a
no
standard
aim.
attack on this.
Standard
No aim,
attack.
and then when it asks, it's a standard attack, which gives you
Yeah,
+10.
let's shock maul this nerd into the ground.
And then modifier -10.
Yeah. No negatives unless it should be a +10, unless you still want to spend a fate on it.
I
case
did,
it'll be
yeah, I
+20.
already spent that fate.
Yeah, so in which case it's a +20.
Plus 20. Alright.
All right, We did that slightly wrong, but it's still going to be a hit. Either way, you got a 5 when you were looking for a 60. Roll damage on the shock maul. And because it was a 5...
Yeah, that's devastating.
Flipping a 5 around, that will be... It was a strike to the head for 21 wounds. They have a damage reduction of 2 and a wound score of 8. So that is...
You just misted this man's head in front of us all.
Yeah, do you want to describe what happens here, or is that the...
I would like to...
What do you want?
I would like to see this person in front of me with this completely ineffective tool and just kind of shake my head and take my mace and just bring it back in a very obvious motion behind me, and taking a very long time to do this, giving him every opportunity to surrender. And he doesn't. And I'll take the shock mace and bring it down as hard as I can, just on top of his head like a whack-a-mole. And I'll just smash him right in the top of his head and just say sadly, exhaustedly, "Surrender, citizen."
Wordlessly, their body falls to the ground. A gaping hole where their head should be, as their skull has been impacted down basically into their neck.
Your compliance is appreciated.
Well, that was Rice's turn.
Overwhelmingly force.
Overwhelmingly lethal force. That's right. You know,
She
Rice
did try
says
to
it,
warn them.
and can, you know, they can pay the bills. They got the skills. With all of this chaos going on around them, the machine cultist will now be starting to run. When you were surrounding it, it actually couldn't have moved away without opportunity attacks, much like a D&D-like system. But now it will start to run. It'll be running north out of this chamber, away from the crowd, towards where one of the exits is, in the kind of northwest corner. Yen.
What's the merchant doing? Are they
The
reloading
merchant
their
is
gun?
readying their revolver. Yeah, they've loaded their revolver, which actually takes a long time. And it's kind of hard to tell who this merchant's going to be shooting at. But they're definitely... They don't look as wild as they did a moment ago, right? With the glowing or anything. Right now, they just kind of... I mean, there's some frothing at the mouth that's blending in with their beard, right? But that's... You've seen all that before. It's probably going to shoot either you or Caius, because you guys aren't really being dealt with by anyone else, though.
Whereabouts are they located? Are they near the edge of the pit?
They're near the edge of the fighting pit, near the edge of the crowd, which is currently people are, especially considering Risa just deleted someone. They are getting on the ground, hands behind the head, that sort of thing. Why do you ask?
Can I try shoving them into the pit with a charge?
Don't try to help the
actually
Mechanicus or anything.
Don't worry, I'll deal with him.
What am I going to do against the Mechanicus?
Yeah, so a maneuver,
me?
which is basically a shove.
Me.
Oh, that's
I've
fine
been
then.
stabbed in the face.
It's fine.
A maneuver is a half action. You can use a half action to walk up to this guy without a problem. Assuming you're not one of the slow people, Yen. Do you have good speed?
I think I'm speedy.
You're speedy. Well, average speedy. You can go up to this guy, and a maneuver is a contested weapon score check. Weapon skill.
Okay. Whereabouts is
So roll weapon skill whenever you're ready. Do you want to use any fate on this?
Yeah, I'd like to use a fate for this.
Awesome.
Where's the weapon skill? Is that...
That is the first attribute on your character sheet, actually, in the main page. It's just weapon skill WS. You have a weapon skill of 36, which is actually pretty good. and if you just click the where it says weapon skill instead of the number, you can.
Oh, there
roll
we go.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look on the. So, what will be the modifier?
This is flat. No mod. You know what?
No?
I will give you a modifier, and this is funny because you're outside the crowd. He's next to the crowd. People in the crowd are getting down, either kneeling or down on the ground completely. So you could, like a schoolyard bully, push him over the other person. So I will give you a
I like that idea.
plus 20 modifier to this.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Yen absolutely fights dirty.
Oh yeah,
Right?
definitely. That's how it gets. He's a weasel fighter.
Yeah, so those will
Any
be a
opportunity
weapon
he
skill
can
check
get.
with plus 20. Well, it's contested. If it's possible, they could fail more than you, because degrees of failure. So let's check, shall we? So 30. I'm so bad at using the macros I made. There we go. Alright. So you got a 97 on a 56. It rolled a 77 on a 30. Who failed more? Is my question
They
right now.
Barely failed more. It's 30. He failed by 39, right?
Yeah.
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 So they
They're
failed by
both-
47.
Yeah, it's 4 degrees versus 3 degrees of failure because the 39 is still 3 degrees of failure, whereas the 40 something is still 4, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all in tens.
We somehow both fail.
So they
Yes!
actually failed
Okay,
more.
that broke my brain for a second there. This is
Yeah.
simple math in D&D like games. Just can't do it. So that
it's
means
just
that Yen...
it's just the tens.
Yeah. That's the smart way to do it. Yeah, you do shove this guy over someone who is surrendering, causing quite a yell of outcry, because that will send this guy tumbling into the fighting pit, into the crowd. It also sends some potentially innocent civilians tumbling into the pit as well, but that's less of a worry.
Listen.
I'm also
Hey,
going to say that he
big
lands.
scary lady, got some fresh meat for you.
Oh, you're saying
And
to
would
the
yell at the fighter.
Yeah.
Why do all the
Ooh,
work when there's a
unfortunately you don't
big
have an
lady in
action
the
there.
pit? Oh,
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Oh, you fed her.
Mm.
That's not good.
You did.
Well.
Yeah.
There's the
like,
character sheet.
oh,
work smart, don't work hard.
no, that wasn't smart.
It's after midnight. We talked about this.
yeah, don't. Oh.
This guy, so this
Everyone
merchant, the one who yelled, the one who has now just been pushed into the fighting pit beside this massive woman who's got bite marks all over from people fighting, is going to ready the revolver, still on the ground, in the mud, hopefully mud, this is a farm, and is actually just going to shoot up at her instead, saving a lot of you from what could have happened. They will actually get a bonus, but does being prone give you any downsides in this system? I know it changes how things...
Not for shooting, I don't think.
I don't think for shooting.
I think it's just a ballistic skill against you, malice.
But would the mud like
Okay.
obstruct their vision? Like if they're covered in
He
mud?
definitely needs a minus for being just in the mud, but it's a standard attack, so that will even it out into a plus 0. So we'll see what they get. That is going to be a failure with the first shot. And after the bang of the revolver firing, and it kind of fumbling towards this this gladiator, they're actually going to then spend their other half action to stand up out of the mud, so that they maybe can take this fight in a bit of a fairer way.
Now the
Caius.
gladiator knows that there's going to be a fight.
Yeah, right. You don't even need any diplomacy.
It's true. So before I do anything, I'm probably gonna use Warp Sense as a free action, huh?
Oh, it's like a
See.
senescence.
Science, yeah, senescence.
This will be a. What difficulty is this? I think this is a +10. I think this is a +10 banger.
Cool. I'll roll it with the old willpower here.
Mm-hmm. That is a success.
Yeah. What are we looking
Caius,
at here?
you
What are
can-
these people doing?
Possession might be too strong of a word.
Okay.
But Caius is the only person who is really, truly aware what is starting to happen on the ship before you actually noticed the Gelar field that keeps the warp out and the material realm in as the ship is traveling through the warp faltered for only a moment. If the Gelar field completely faltered, the ship would be streaming with demons and everyone would be dead.
Sure. Caius is
Just
well
a
aware of
moment.
this, yeah.
Yeah, of course, right? Just a moment is enough to let something in, whether it's necessarily a demon or just warp influence. There's definitely warp influence affecting these individuals. Not enough to manage the entire crowd, although they were being really intense earlier, and you reckon that kind of just the aggression levels on the whole ship are rising. These individuals that you're currently fighting, aside from the person in the fighting pit who was snapped out of it by the police, are affected by this this haze, this red haze of rage.
Okay.
You know, when it comes to creatures of the warp, there are essentially 4 disciplines. This is very much something that would be connected to demons of blood, bloodshed, and war, which explains the hyper-aggression.
Got it.
The redness.
Fun. Well then, let's see. I can see the Mechanicus as well. The same affliction.
You can see the Mechanicus who's running away. They moved 6 meters away, which would make them more or less 9 meters away from you right now.
Yeah. And they got the same affliction, yeah. Also affected by this or no?
No, not afflicted.
Okay.
Then it almost seems like a bit of a willing participant. They aren't overrun with rage.
Okay. All right.
They are still sentient, but there's definitely corruption upon them, for sure.
Excellent. Well, you know, they're still close enough, so they get the flamey. It's happening to them.
Hell yeah.
And let's see. This time with spontaneous combustion, I pushed up my psi rating as well. So
you bought a higher psi rating. You can
I
push
did
it further
indeed.
if you want.
No. I think 2 should be more than enough. I don't have to be
2
subtle
is
anymore
massive.
now, though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Go ahead.
so my psi use is 2 now, right? When it asks.
Your psi value is 2 now. Yeah. You can choose to attack lower if you want to kind of draw less attention, but
No. My modifier
don't.
is 10. Yes, on this.
you should have a +10. Yeah, because this is
Yeah.
basically a low-level blast attack.
Oof.
And that is a miss. It
That's
is
okay,
not a fumble, and it is not a psychic phenomena, though.
Okay.
So you
Let's,
can use your turn to your other turn. To do
I'll
it
use
again.
I'll use a fate to re-roll that first roll.
To reroll.
I
Okay.
want to get a.
You'll still have a chance to have some psychic phenomena, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's much better.
There.
That's a 34 when you were looking for a 62 compared to the 94 you got earlier. Still not any sort of psychic phenomena. And you should deal more damage with this attack now with your psi bonus being 2. Please roll damage for me.
Will indeed.
Add it up.
So 10 plus 2 plus
I think it's double
16.
your psi rating, actually.
yeah, 2 times my
Yeah.
psi rating, so 16 damage.
So 16 damage.
On this
It
Mechanicus?
attacks just like any other attack. So with a 34, that means you will be making their body spontaneously combust, which makes sense, right? 16 is it's just enough to get them to instantly kill them, which is really nice. It is literally, it's 2 off. Why don't you describe what happens as this machine cultist is running
so
towards the exit?
Caius looks over as he sees this Mechanicus breaking into a sprint and focuses his spontaneous combustion powers towards it, and like mid-stride this Mechanicus erupts into flames, and parts of its chest just start to slag off. It's still like mid-run, and it just carries through with momentum until it just slumps over. And it is now just a pile of flaming
slag,
refuse and slag. Yeah.
Oh, it's not even like the last one where it's like, oh no, they're still in pain. No, there's just nothing left, really. Just a little legs left. I'm gonna, because I can't help but add more people, I'm gonna roll for the gladiator.
Ooh. I still got one more action here before we go to Scythia. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I
I'm
used the
starting
fate
into
to
turn
re-roll. Yeah, I still
That's
got
right.
one
Yeah,
more.
yeah. That's okay.
I haven't forgotten about my my buddy Ohm that just got hurt, so I'm gonna focus on that young boy as well, and he will also be catching fire, I think, today. Or how close am I to Ohm? How many meters?
Oh,
away?
you're
Can
within 3 meters, so you can
cool.
use this.
Let's do my chain. So if they're just affected, does my hatred still give me a weapons boost on them?
No, your hatred
Okay.
towards
They have to
demons
be
does
fully
not affect
possessed.
people. It would affect people who are possessed by demons. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering if I get a plus. No, then
Good question.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I'll jump in with the chain blade then. With this fun friend that decided to attack my buddy Ohm.
You can't attack them yet this turn, but you can move to attack them next.
Oh, I see.
Actually, no. You would be side by side with Ohm. You can attack them. What am I talking?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
All right.
fine.
Let's
Go ahead. Give him a chain blade.
let's play a little. What I'm doing? Am I doing half aim or?
You are doing no aim.
I'm doing
'cause you
no
spent the rest of
aim,
your
and
turn setting people on
it's
fire.
a point blank attack, right? Or no. That's
No.
that's
So the
guns.
chain blade is melee, so it should
It's
just be
just
a
a melee half action attack.
So melee, no aim, standard. Standard. And I don't have a modifier, I imagine, on that, right?
Nope. Ooh.
Okay.
One check, and we can easily apply modifiers after the fact. You might count as ganging up.
Like that scene in
I think
Armor
you
Wars
need.
with the
I think you
printer.
need at least
I
another person.
think it's more people.
It's
than
more
Yeah,
than
more
two.
people.
It's more than
Food
two.
party.
I'll give. We got fate. I'll re-roll
You
that
can
one
fate.
as
You
well.
can use another fate. Reroll it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's try that again.
Wish I had that much fate.
Hey,
Jeez.
listen.
Yeah, the melee combat specialist hasn't got enough fate to re-roll the melee rolls that you.
Yeah, whatever. I've been buffing up my weapon
just-
skill.
I'm just whiffing it on this. I'm really trying to help here, but it is not looking. Well, I mean, how much fate do we really use every time? Maybe let's try one more time.
just
Yeah.
bump it up. Let's let it ride.
Yeah.
Rookie fate numbers.
Listen, I want
You
to.
can,
I haven't,
as far as I can tell, you can re-roll multiple
yeah,
times.
I haven't used my
Can
fate
you?
near
Okay.
Your
enough.
resource.
Yeah. I got 4
Can
fate.
you only
Let's get-
spend
let's
one
get-
fate per turn? You know what? Let
Huh.
me check.
Yeah. Let me know.
check.
I have
If
no
not,
idea.
I'm re-rolling one more time.
Either way, you can probably only use one fate per roll.
Yeah, I
Oh
can't
yeah.
imagine.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
But I'll check while You miss. Big time,
All
baby.
I really
Yeah,
need
yeah,
is
yeah.
While-
distraction.
Scythia can start planning what they're
Yeah.
doing. I just need to get...
So is the guy in front of me still in front of me, or is he the guy that got melted? Because I don't know
No,
who the target was for
you
that.
still have a regular...
Alright, if I still have a target, then that target's gonna die, so
Yeah,
Chainblade
you
time.
still, yeah. You and Ohm have the targets now. Everyone else is dead.
Stop. Alright, so let's attack. Let's attack with our Chainblade. Here we go.
Nice.
For a half aim. For a standard. Or actually, not a half aim. I don't want a half aim. I just want a regular. No aim. Standard. Here we go. Modifier, nothing, I assume.
Modifier was standard attack, unless... What are you doing?
I missed that time, but we go again. Here we go.
It hasn't even rolled. You're so efficient right now. It hasn't
No
even gone
game.
through yet.
No aim, standard, modifier 0. I miss again. I'm just whiffing all my Chainblade attacks. It's very, very sad.
I'm gonna reroll my roll. There you go. Yeah, those are whiffs.
But whatever,
whiffs.
it's cool. I don't mind.
That's
I
fine.
will viscerate this guy eventually.
So I checked in Dark Heresy 2nd edition. In rules, there is no caveat that you can use fate as much as you want.
Oh, okay.
The only caveat being that unless chat gives you more,
you're out.
you will run out.
Got it.
But you can use it whenever. You can use it outside of your turn. For instance, Ohm could use it right now to heal the damage he's taken.
I like to think that these failures on Cynthia's part are not even failures. She's just playing with this poor boy.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's
Fair.
She's
If it makes you
literally
feel better, then that
just
can be
playing
canon.
with
Yeah.
him. Just playing
I'm
with
missing
him.
on purpose.
And actually, they're not far off. Right?
No.
They're within 1 or no degrees of failure. So that,
Yeah.
maybe.
Just giving him the little like touch with the chain blade, but not pushing down. You know what I mean? Just,
Right.
Just,
Yeah.
just like, you would have been dead. You would have been dead, but you're not because I don't feel like it. Let's keep
When
fighting.
Stewie was blocking Brian on the stairs, like, oop.
Scythia is a death cult member who hasn't got like the brainwashing yet to be a good assassin, so it's just memeing.
So,
People's
I-
lives.
she's
just
I like
memeing on you.
She's
I
honestly wants
respect
to
it.
replace this chain blade as quickly as possible. It's far too loud and far too like
Is
chunky.
loud.
So I can use a fate point. I did use my points before the session started to buy Medicae for myself. Because
Yes,
I had the points to do it because I have one of the aptitudes for it. So
the skill, the Medicae skill,
yeah.
that's unrelated.
Oh, that's I thought that was towards healing. Like it
No,
helped me
well, it
to-
is to healing skill. If you want to use a fate point to heal, it is just instantly 1d5 damage removed from the character.
Oh well, shit. All right,
Nice.
You can do that at any time,
nice.
aside from when you are currently taking critical damage. If something would push you up into critical damage, that's still going to process, and then you can delete it with fate afterwards. But you can't actually delete critical damage.
All right. Well, I'll just since I'm in lightly damaged still. I'll
Spend a
just do
fate
point.
and roll a d5. Yes, that's the main usage of fate points for you guys, is that, and that you can burn fate permanently to survive instant death.
Should I do like because I don't see where the
1d5 can roll in Roll20, so you might as well. Just so it's easier to see. Or chat.
Oh, because it only has a D4 and a D6. Should I just do?
You
one
can
D6?
type
Yeah.
/1
slash- yeah.
roll.
If you type
roll
space
1d5.
1d5, it will roll a d5.
You can roll anything. You can roll any side dice
You
you
can
want.
roll. You
So
can
that's
roll.
one.
You can
Hey,
roll
listen.
a /1d 5867 if you really want to, but I mean.
I had a friend
Slash
once
roll.
manage to roll the mathematical number E. I don't know how they did it, but it showed
like
up
it.
as E.
That
I'm like,
makes
okay,
sense.
great.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
Perfect.
Take a damage off.
Well, it's something.
I mean that might be
Yeah.
enough to take the edge off, and you can see if you want to do more later.
All right,
but,
come at me,
yeah.
knife boy.
My emotions. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if
I'm gonna parry the
shit.
shit out of this guy.
I see. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get a hit, and it's gonna be very successful. And it's gonna be parried, which is absolutely so what should happen. They are just using knives after all.
Really quick, did Ohm use a fate point?
Yeah.
Ohm did use a fate, yeah. And it should be updated. Make sure you update it on your character sheet as well. So
Can you
so
can you do me a favor and just read out the total fate, Ollie? It's in chat right now.
Yeah. That looks right with Caius having 2, Ohm having 2, Scythia having 2. That's Scythia's max. It's not as impressive. And Ryza, you have 2, and Yen has 3. Yeah, that sounds right. That is just barely a failure on that stab check.
Oof.
Real shame. Real shame.
Real shame.
I'm gonna take this man's knife and kill him with it.
Yeah, so this is a dance right now you're having with this civilian.
Yeah. And just like
This enraged civilian.
stabbing back and forth.
So he's mad, but she looks like she's super enjoying herself. She's like smiling real wide and just having the time of her life.
It's like that lightsaber gif, just they're both spinning at each other.
Yeah, that's absolutely what's going on. Now, there is one right now who is kind of sandwiched between Ohm and Caius.
Nice.
Interestingly, Caius,
this is our
don't...
Eiffel Tower maneuver on this guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna clasp hands and
the old halfling bridge, as it's called in my
and then
D&D
like
setting.
the respect knuckles graphic will fly up onto the screen.
The enraged individual doesn't even seem to acknowledge your presence there, Caius, and just
okay,
continues
alright,
charging towards Ohm.
What a dick.
First attack is a miss. Second attack is a miss. Now, I'm pretty sure your arm can be used to attack as a reaction. Your servo arm. You are not being hit now.
Yeah, we're
You
gonna
know
get in
you
there
can't.
with
You
that,
don't need to make a parry or a dodge roll.
Yep.
If you want to have some maximum value,
Yeah, we're gonna get in there.
could be a good use of a reaction.
Yeah, we're gonna use a reaction to see if we can just help his face meet.
It should just be a standard attack.
Okay, so no aim.
No aim.
Okay.
Although you can aim for your reaction attacks in the future. It's a whole thing. Aiming's a
that'll
whole
take a full
strat.
action, right?
Yeah, that's like prepping. That's preparation.
Yeah, no, I'll just
This
do
is just-
a retaliation.
This is just the raw chaos of dice. Who knows what will happen?
Yeah, I'll just do no modifier is what you're saying.
It would be a standard attack, but no extra modifier beyond that.
All right.
And it's a hit.
Nice.
So, roll damage. It's
Uh,
15
shit.
rending damage.
15 rending.
It should be impact damage. That is not what. Something's wrong there. Wait a minute.
I'll look
Where
in
we
on
getting-
that.
We've got an extra modifier in there somehow. Where have we
I
got
put
an extra
everything to
3?
0.
No, it's probably me. I've got a +2 with that.
You even said your litanies, and now the machine's fucking.
You did a chain axe attack, my dude.
All right, well.
That's fine. That's fine. We can use the dice roll. It would have been a 5 + 2 plus your strength, which is a 3. So that would be 10. Perfect. That is just barely not a kill. Because the way regular troops work in Dark Heresy, you have to deal critical damage to kill them. Critical damage is what you guys would take if you go above your wound score. You've dealt exactly their wound score, right? You hit them with this, with your Mechadendrite while
So I
they're
floored
trying to
them,
get
basically?
at you. You floor them. There's a crunch. There's a wheeze as lungs start to collapse, but they are not currently deceased. They still have enough energy in them to fight or to put up a fight right now. And that's all. The others are dead. Why don't we actually take your turn now and see what's up?
Sure. Can I just follow through by just smashing into his head with
Crushing his skull.
Yeah, I just the old
Yeah,
arm
you can-
special,
you
as
can
I like to
absolutely.
call it.
You can absolutely make one more attack. You can only attack with this thing once per turn, but that wasn't your turn, right? So you can do it again
Yeah.
now.
All right. No modifiers on that, or do I get a?
You could make an aim if you want.
Yeah. Let's.
Why not? You're not going to
Can
do
I
anything
full aim
else.
it? Can I just full aim
You
it?
can only half aim. A full aim would be taking your whole turn to aim, and
Yeah.
then on your next turn.
Oh, okay, right.
you would
Okay,
have a
I
full
get
aim
you.
bonus. Really good for like
Right.
sniping.
Right.
Not so good for melee.
Yeah, if you're taking called shots to the head, what you do is you aim and then you shoot them on the next turn.
Exactly.
Oh
So
yeah.
That is a hit. Absolutely. Getting a 10 when you wanted a 46. Yeah. Roll for me the mechadendrite damage, even though no matter what, it is definitely a kill. And just so we check, it would be to the head. So you're crunching that guy's head in. Are you crunching them with the clamp, or are you
Yeah.
smashing
No.
downwards?
The clamp will rotate out and then just just
Yes.
lower down and just pump once again. Ohm has crushed someone's skull open on the floor.
There are currently your party has crushed 2 skulls in within the last minute.
It's not bad. Not bad. Yeah.
Peace was never an option.
Let's go beat the shit out of the kitchen staff now.
I mean, I half expected you to unsling that grenade launcher at him, and there's a crowd right there.
I was tempted to, but you ran up to him. I didn't want to.
No, I
get
was
you
like,
in there
I
as
was
well.
fighting the melee guy. The crowd's over there. It's free
I thought
game.
Drop a
I thought the
grenade
crowd
down
was
into him.
together.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know.
You
me
don't
my
really want to
grenades in
hurt
you.
the crowd.
Don't we?
It's only a stun
No.
grenade.
We don't
Like,
seem like the
we
good
already
guys.
have
Yeah,
I think you have a different vision of us than we do.
we're
The crowd is currently surrendering.
Hmm.
we've subjugated
All
To
are
be-
easier
to
to
be-
kill them. Yeah.
To
We
be
murdered
fair,
2 of them.
to be fair, this assumption was before Risa made them all surrender. You know, it was a while ago.
There wasn't before Risa kind of let out that loud hailer proclamation. You could have been fighting like 40, 30 people.
Which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of cool.
No, it wouldn't have.
But that's what the grenades are
Risa.
for.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's not good.
They're only stun grenades.
Risa, just so you know what's going on, right? Of the combatants you have right now,
Yeah.
your suspect is over there melting.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
No worries.
Anything that was human about them in their machine body has now been reduced to molten goo. Of your
Ollie, before this, and Lucid's character will take a moment to like just high five.
Yeah. Like we did it.
Yeah,
okay, that's very important. I'm glad you told me.
yeah. Just wanted to.
Of other combatants on the battlefield, Risa, Scythia is fighting one of the other people who is enraged.
I forgot about
3 meters away from you. And the merchant who yelled, who got the crowd into this state, is in the fighting pit in the middle of the crowd, about to be slammed down by the gladiator. But they still have their revolver. You know, they're fighting someone who doesn't have a weapon. Who knows what could happen? What are you thinking?
My attention is on the immediate threat, and I've noticed that the small, powerful female is toying with this suspect, with this civilian.
She looks like she's having a great time, just casually chain blade fighting this knife wielding maniac.
It's taking a while, and I'd like to end this dance. Do I have to move in order to hit with my
You do
shock
have to
mace?
move, but despite being the tankiest party member, you're still one of the fast ones. So it would be a half-action move to get there, and then if you want to attack them, that can be another half action.
All right. Then I'd like to do that.
So it'd be a standard attack with your shock maul.
All right. That's under gear. And roll to hit. Half aim?
No aim.
No aim. And then you said standard attack.
Standard attack.
No modifier.
No extra modifiers right now.
Oh.
Which is a shame, because you miss by 3. Getting a 53 when you were looking for a 50.
Slipped on those brains.
Is that all of my actions?
This is a really slippery guy.
That is all of your actions.
I would just like to remind this citizen with my loud hailer to just click it on and say,
Citizen, you are in direct violation of an order from the Adeptus Arbites. Stop resisting, or you will be met with lethal force.
In response,
just right into his face.
Oh, it's into his and Scythia's face.
Telling him he's in trouble for avoiding being beaten to death.
The response is a frothing roar from this scrawny, malnourished human. Speaking of, next is Yen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
Got him.
I was memeing on you.
I only just got that. Okay. Yen would like to yell out to the gladiator.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
My jam.
Love your stuff.
Hey, big, strong, scary gladiator lady. Got you some fresh meat.
Hell yeah.
That'd be like a charm, I guess, like trying to...
Yeah, I was gonna say
them-
that is essentially...
Because he
We
would be
haven't done
mainly
much-
pointing at the guy with the gun, rather than like the rest of the crowd.
We just
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
get
that
Yin
would be
laid.
that would straight up be a charm. I would give you a plus 20 on this. And Yen is, I think, the only person in the party with charm proficiency. So,
Yeah. Oh.
unfortunately, you roll
a
like
fate
ass.
reroll?
You can always use a fate to reroll the die.
All
Need to
right.
see this charm happen. Come on.
Come on.
Take
We
that
do
as
want
a
to see this
knocker.
happen.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way better. That's a 31.
Yeah.
That's going to be a success. So to remind you, this is a one of the mechanics aboard the ship, essentially. Not the mechanicus, just the people who do the basic welding and keep the ship going and work in the farms and all that sort of thing. White-dyed mohawk, big muscles, coated in bruises and bites and things from fighting all day. But just kind of looks at you, looks at the enraged individual who just tried to shoot her, coated in mud, and just kind of, and everyone else is surrendering, right? So you can see each other quite clearly amongst this thing, and we'll just sort of give you a nod and a bit of a thumbs up.
I give a thumbs up back as well.
Yeah,
Double thumbs up.
Tonight, you.
yeah, double.
Oh God.
Yeah, so totally. That's only a half action, Yen. Like
Who do you want to hit on next?
now,
Yeah.
Ooh, can
and
I-
another thing
Yen,
is
Yen
because
uses
the
his
crowd
other
as a
half
whole.
action to talk to his bookie.
Yeah.
I got 20 on her.
Double off.
Bits and-
The other half action is the other thumb.
Did you aim
because
your
the crowd
thumb? Did you-
is now surrendering, you actually have free reign to shoot over them.
reign to shoot.
I was
Either
gonna
at
say,
the
can I, like-
merchant or the people between them.
Can I like try to shoot the gun out of his hand?
You absolutely can try to do that.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
It is a called shot, which is a full action. You cannot make it a full
Ooh.
action right now.
Dang.
Next
you
turn.
you just hit him
Next
with a
turn.
grenade launcher. Maybe it
Yeah.
lands near him and explodes.
Which
you know?
bear-
Throw the whole
probably-
grenade launcher.
You probably need to equip your gun anyway. Unless
Yeah,
you're going to be
probably
running
would,
around this whole
wouldn't I?
time with your gun out, which would Yen have been doing that?
Not a grenade launcher, no.
Not a grenade
heavy
launcher.
thing.
And I don't know if you could do a grenade launcher roll to knock the gun out of someone's hand next turn.
Yeah.
That's very precise.
Pelt them with
And
a
also,
grenade.
you know,
Like a rock.
don't forget the innocence that are around
Calculated
this guy as well.
geometry.
Yeah. Some Hanzo shit.
I don't know what else I can do with my. We'll just say it was the other thumb. Give motivation for the gladiator.
Do you want to
Double thumbs up.
prep your las pistol for next turn?
Yeah, actually, that's probably a smarter idea. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Mouth her your
Double
combi
thumb and then you're like,
digits.
oh yeah, get the gun out, ready for next time.
By frequency.
Now this merchant has been a little bit more canny than the others who are enraged. So does actually look and see Yen that you're cavorting with this gladiator.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Uh-oh.
Have you seen the gladiator?
And he would take a shot at you if not for the fact that this gladiator is going to charge him down next turn. So he's gonna make this shot for sure. Well, he's gonna try.
He's gonna shoot his shot too, but
But who's he
Yen's
shooting
got
at?
it at this
Yen
point.
or
He's shooting at the gladiator.
Oh shit!
That is amazing. That is amazing. And you want to know why that's amazing?
His
He
gun's
He has a
gonna
revolver.
explode. Yeah.
He has a revolver. Revolvers are reliable, which means they only jam on an unmodified roll of 100.
excellent.
The enraged merchant turns to the gladiator, shoots as a flicker of fire in the kind of chamber of the gun, and just a clunk. Maybe the mud got in there somehow. And he's shit out of luck. Basically
Oh, no.
eating up his
Rest in peace.
entire turn. He's gonna actually spend his other half action to run back towards Yen. The gladiator's then gonna make a charge move.
Nice.
Yen's
It's
just
not gonna
watching at
stop
this
her.
point, enjoying the show.
Oh, for sure.
Don't make it weird.
I mean, it's a gladiator pit.
A 64, looking for a 64. It's a success. It's a successful charge move. We take that. And is going to smack this guy. Now, unarmed attacks do 1d5 minus 2 plus the strength of who they're being used by. It actually ends up being a plus 2 in the end. So, that is going to be only 4 damage to the guy, which is admittedly not that much, especially given Soak. But she is currently just using her fists. But admittedly, he's not really got much in the way of armor. A lot of the merchants do wear sort of leathers instead of like imperial robes or just maintenance gear, but nothing compared to what a lot of you guys are wielding. So they are going to take some hits there, and I actually think this is a great time to take a break before Caius's turn, because we've been around, we're around half time. So
Awesome. Double thumbs up.
okay, double thumbs up.
We'll be back after this break with more DoomLore, a 40k story. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fable Scraps, episode 3 of DoomLore, a 40k story. There's some interesting mechanics here that I'd like to go over with Ollie. Ollie, why don't you tell the listening public exactly in what ways they can affect the story here at Fable Scraps?
You can, via your donations, gift the gift of fate to the party members, which they've been using a lot this session. You know, fate can allow them to reroll any dice. So it's not just for combat. It can heal. It can recover people from stun. It can remove fatigue. It can also be used for initiative that we have not used yet, or just give bonuses for in many sorts of ways. Your donations will help. Will help a lot, because the more fate they have, the more they can use to succeed, more or less, right? So
there are links for donations in the panels down below and an exclamation point coin, the chat command. I want to give a very special thank you to everyone who has followed, subscribed, or given bits, or otherwise helped out Fable Scraps' Twitch stream in any way. We stream this show live every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific. If you're interested in participating, head over to twitch.tv/FableScraps. Now it's time for the second half of the show. Take it away, Ellie.
a regularly scheduled program. 2 skulls crushed in. That's the important stuff. You've actually removed or disposed of most of the combatants right now. The entire fighting pit was almost ready to turn against you, but Rice's intimidation has stopped that taking place. There are only a couple more threats still left on the battlefield, and that is the one enraged individual between Scyther and Ricer, and the merchant who is currently fighting the gladiator, who is the most successful member of this fighting pit. Now that merchant's gun just jammed, so hard to tell how much of a threat they'll be, but either way, it is your turn, Caius. Someone who can kind of affect the entire battlefield.
That's right. So what do we got? We just got the one guy now fighting with
Two guys.
Scythia, and we
Two
got
guys.
maybe we got the merchant too, right?
Yeah. Both. The merchant has been hit with a punch. It's not enough to really take someone down. Although punches do add to fatigue, which make them less able to fight, which is
Let's
unknown.
see.
And the one between Scythia and Ricer is full health, unharmed.
How
Scythia appears to be
how
toying.
far away is the merchant?
The merchant right now is in the middle of the crowd, which from you and Ohm... Alright, I've got to do some triangles here on my little doodle. Like 6-7 meters away. Not far.
That's not that far.
It's actually a charge move away from you if you wish to do so, because you do have your chain laid out right now.
I do, and I could charge over there and hurt him, huh? Yeah, so charge is
That's an
half
option.
action.
Charge is your full action.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it composes moving and attacking.
Right.
Giving you a bonus. I would give you a -10 because you are you would be charging through a group of surrendering individuals. But that's not, only a -10.
Well,
You'd be
that's
getting
fair.
a +20, so you'd still have
Yeah,
a positive.
it's still got a +10. Yeah, okay. I mean, let's test it out. Let's see if I can help out my my new favorite. Yen's new favorite gal pal. Let's let's see where charge is over here. Where am I clicking for charge?
It will be in your Chainblade's attack options.
Oh,
You
okay,
go
okay.
Hit. There should be a charge on there. If not, anything else that gives it a +20. And then
Okay.
when it
Oh yeah,
asks for
charge
an-
+20. Yeah, and then modifier -10.
Yep. Perfect. That is going to be a failure unless you want to use victory. roll it?
I mean,
Either way,
yeah,
you've
let's
charged,
do it.
right? So either way, you're in a new
let's
position.
do it. I'm already there, huh? I mean, it'd be silly not to just burn one more fate. Gotta win this time around. All right, so let's try that again. Let's do
You're looking for a 44. I mean, those are pretty good odds in this game.
yeah.
Did we all huff a rag full of ether
Jeez.
before this fight? What's going
Yeah.
on?
No, it's exactly what you mentioned to me before, Locke. It's that your last fight was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
you're doing a
Hey,
fight
look,
which is normal.
I
and
melted-
you're fumbling.
I
I've managed
melted
to
a robot, so you know,
I've managed to
I'm
fail the
good,
coin
but-
flip 4 times now.
Yeah. The same,
on, guys, let's
same
go to
with
work.
my-
or something.
Yeah, our chain. You know what? I think these chain blades need to be inspected after the battle. I think they're faulty.
Oh.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
wonder who could do that.
You,
I'm gonna get myself a nice mono-edge sword instead. That'll be.
Caius, you do charge through or over the crowd, up to you.
Yeah.
To this individual, who, unlike the almost people who have been so afflicted by the touch of chaos that they're essentially mindless, this merchant right now, he does have a little bit more strategy, and so sees you coming. Almost manages to get the gladiator in between you and them, just enough that you can't secure a strike with the chain blade. Now it'll actually be your turn.
Well, you know.
Scythia.
Alright, this time with feeling. Risa said she's bored, she wants it to be over. Cynthia's gonna make it over. There we go.
Oh, we've all been here in like in an RPG where it's like just kill them already.
This time with
Just vanish it.
feeling. Standard attack. Boom.
Uh-huh.
No modifiers. Here we go.
That
15
is
out of
a
52.
hit.
There
With
we
a
go.
51,
That's
also going to be
the ticket.
a strike to the
Okay.
body.
So it's 9. It's 9 with 1 pen. So like.
It's 9 with 1
gonna kill
pen,
him.
which a bit like Locke before is exactly their wound threshold, but doesn't.
Well,
deal with
I
critical.
exactly have another hit. So here we go.
I use a fate point to
Standard.
run over and crush his head.
And I got him again.
got another hit,
There
yeah.
it is.
You're just banking luck for this time.
Damage. Another
Yeah,
11.
he's.
How do you wanna?
So I
bear in
think
mind, you know,
basically
you've
what
got two
happens is
attacks.
when Risa comes over and is like, "This is taking too long," Cynthia's just like, "Oh, okay," zonk, like stabs it directly through his chest, basically, like revs it up, just gore straight through his chest, and then pulls it out like, "Done now."
It's one way to solve a problem. Do you want to do anything? You good? You happy? What's up? No one's currently
would he-
attacking you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could I just use my skill to try to him to do just some self repair while we're.
So, good question. I do not believe that's really an option unless you take specific talents. Usually, healing is done in downtime. But let me just take a real quick gander at the healing section of the sheet, just in case, because there might be, for you especially. Healing. So, yeah, there is no way to heal mid-fight unless you are a psychic or maybe a specific talent or drug or something.
Well,
Unless you want to
then,
use another fate, which maybe isn't worth it. Right?
Yeah. No. Ohm will just begin to clean his mechadendrite back off again. He's not going to be moving.
Excellent. Yeah. Risa, what's your take on the situation?
Is the immediate threat of the frothing civilian dealt with appropriately? Is it dead?
There is a hole in the chest cavity.
But
He
is
is
it
super
and
dead.
actually dead?
The flesh has flayed outwards due to the motion of the chain blade being pulled out.
very good? All right, then I'll look around for any more threats.
The only
Hang
other
out with me.
combatant right now, well, there's two others, but the merchant who kind of riled everyone up is fighting both Caius and the gladiator woman in the middle-ish of the arena, which is 4 meters away from you.
Are there other threats? Did you?
No.
Um,
Well, there are a lot of civilians who could have weapons or drugs or contraband, but they're surrendered.
Can I tell Ohm to scan again? Ohm 13. Look around for more anomalies, please.
Acknowledged.
That's a great idea.
Well, the optical mechadendrite will once again slither out from over his shoulder and just sort of do a little sweep.
I'll give you this one for free because you also kind of skipped your turn last time. And it's quite easy to tell. No one else in the crowd is overheating. Like the other individuals. Aside from the merchant, right, who they are currently fighting.
Are
Everyone else
any
is
of
normal body temperature?
any of us overheating? I assume that Ohm 13 will be scanning everyone in the room, not just the
Oh yeah,
civilians.
he's gonna scan everybody.
Lucid, does Caius run a little hot?
I mean, you know, he's kind of a guy. He's probably a little warmer than normal, I'd imagine, right? It's full
He's
of
either
pyromancy.
warmer or colder, right?
Yeah, he's probably a little nothing like crazy above average, but he's definitely a little warmer than most.
Yeah.
I don't know
Nothing,
if
no
it's-
anomalies.
Yeah.
No anomalies among the party.
Current subjects are within acceptable temperature range.
Thank you, Ohm.
And the mechadendrite will just shoop and disappear.
I'd like to make my way over to the fighting pit.
Excellent.
And I'd like to. Is there anyone in the way? Are there people surrendering? Are there like the civilians?
There are people surrendering who don't even really count as difficult terrain right now, right? They're spread out enough because that's the
stepping
idea.
between them through next to
Yeah.
their right beside their arms, around their heads, without
Caius maybe
even
wasn't
looking
so
down.
kind when
This is-
spreading
Yeah,
through.
man.
This is something
Yeah.
I've done many times before,
Exactly, right?
and I'll make my way
would
over.
you want to basically join that combat to give them a gang up bonus?
I
against the
would.
merchant?
Yes, I would.
Nice.
Okay, excellent.
Nice.
Yen, that
Would you?
would
feel like-
make it harder for you to shoot into it.
I feel like 3 people for. So it would be 4 people including Yen against one guy might be too much.
Maybe.
What else did I do?
On the other hand-
Fun?
On the other hand, it's always an option.
Could I hop into the pit to get a better angle on the merchant?
Considering you have a quite short range las pistol, I don't really think you could get an angle better than where you're at right now on them. The issue being is that shooting into melee like this is going to have a -20 modifier kind of no matter what.
Yeah, I'd rather not hit other people.
Because you are trying not to hit other people, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there's just other forms of meat in the way, right?
Don't know what to do. Yes.
Well, you can always kind of just sort of wait for the situation to arrange itself. You can, and also, there's another option, is you can, guys, trying to remember what they call it in this system. But you can kind of prepare an action for later, both in Overwatch, which is where you kind of ready for if someone moves and shoot them, or just prepare an action. Say if the merchant somehow gets out of that brawl, you will shoot them, right?
Yeah, I'll probably do something like that then. essentially just wait until I get a clearer shot on him where it wouldn't, risk anyone else. And he'd also give a thumbs up to those that are fighting.
Nice.
Raisa, as you're approaching the battle, you see that Yen is on the edge of the fighting pit where the mud turns to metal, giving a thumbs up to the brawl.
Do I get the impression that Yen wants to be a part of this?
You would have seen through your peripheral while having the rest of the fight that Yen did push the merchant down into this fighting pit.
See,
into the mud.
I'm contemplating
Yen's doing
just
stuff.
scruffing Yen and dropping him into the fight pit, but
That would be further away.
I'll hold
Right,
on
that would
that
be a-
on that impulsive decision for the moment. I'll just kind of put my hands at my belt, shock mace ready, and just try to examine the fight from my angle.
Now, Yen, I'm going to give you this chance because what will someone in this situation do when they're greatly outnumbered? They'll either surrender or they'll try to get out. This guy doesn't have a melee weapon other than maybe a knife, which he will actually kind of prepare a knife from somewhere in his person.
You can bludgeon
it's actually
people
quite a
with
nice-
a revolver, right? That's an
He
improvised
could punch
melee
people with the
weapon.
revolver, but the revolver is just useless right now. So he's gonna
That's
have
true.
he's got quite a nice sort of switchblade. Little kind of wood on the casing. It's quite pretty actually. But will then take the disengage action, which allows them to move 1 meter away from. Oh, actually, that is their full turn to disengage, which allows them to move. As they are moving, Yen, you can take an
Nice.
Overwatch action to shoot at them,
Nice.
which I believe is a standard attack when you're doing it that way. But you know what? Let me check because we haven't used this yet. And it will only take me 1 second. So get your pistol at the ready, and I will double check what action it does exactly. This is an Overwatch attack. So you can do whichever. Ideally, when you Overwatch, you say whether you're going to shoot standard or semi-auto or full auto. But I'll let you kind of do whichever one you want. Your pistol can shoot in semi-auto, which allows you to potentially hit twice with your pistol. But you don't
I'd
have
rather
the plus
do
10
one
modifier.
good shot rather than two maybe good shots.
In which case,
Especially
give me a standard
multiple
attack.
people there.
Good point, yeah. You are going to have the modifier of -20, luckily.
Will that be
Just a
no
standard
aim?
attack with the last pistol. No aim.
Aim. Standard range. Right, if my standard
You are... What's the range of your pistol?
15, I think.
Yeah, you are
Yeah,
within
15
close
meters.
range. You are within close
Oh,
range.
that'd be
with this
close.
pistol. Yeah, which
That'd
gives
be
you
good.
another +10.
Short range. Standard attack.
Mhm.
And -20 modifier.
No -20. He's left the melee, which is why you've got
Okay,
a chance
so-
to shoot at him.
Just a
Yeah,
0 modifier then.
just a 0. Yeah. Oh.
2 off.
Looking for a 59. You
Ooh.
got
No, I'm
a
going to use a
61.
fate.
So
I'm
close.
going to blast.
You're
I
going to
wanna
use a
blast
fate to re-roll that?
We got the
gonna
fate.
blast
May
him.
as
That's
well use them.
59. That's a.
It's because
yeah.
Rice is looking right at you. It's like you can see the teacher staring at you.
Yeah, you
I
want to
mean,
be
everyone else
impressive
has
in
done
this.
something.
Yeah,
Everyone
everyone
else
else has
has
done
damaged someone.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't know what I did.
Go ahead.
You're fine.
re-roll. I'd love if there was just a re-roll button.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
that'll
that's
do it.
way better. That's way better, and that's a shot to the head too. Roll damage.
Click. Oh.
You get a 10, which is going to be a hit for just about everything. 7 damage, pen 0. It is a compact las pistol, so it does less. This is the first las pistol shot of the campaign. there is a sharp crack in the air as a red laser goes from Yen's pistol, from the stubby end of it, right into the head of this guy as he's trying to run. He's not down. With his...
yes. Laser weapons. They've always been so good.
At the kind of level of play you do at Dark Heresy, las guns are still are pretty good.
But you know what I mean, right? Like...
Yeah.
Ow, I've been mildly inconvenienced.
Oh no, sunburn!
At least annoyed him a little bit. Maybe distracted him for a second.
You've given him a carcinoma.
It will be a strike that leaves a searing burn on this individual's cheek, which kind of looks similar to the glow they had before. What is funny though is them moving actually just means the gladiator can make another charge attack, which is pretty fun. I like that. I am the gladiator though.
You're also the guy about to get mauled though.
I'm also the guy about to get the, you know. Well, so this is a punch to the head. This is a 10.
Well,
Concussion crew at it again.
how many skulls can we crack this round?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a kill.
Oh,
Less armor on this guy's head.
You're just bullying him now.
Yeah.
He's taken a lot. Yeah, the gladiators are gonna get a strike in the back of the head, but they're still gonna keep fighting. Caius, this individual did move away from you.
Yeah, he
and
did.
The gladiator, and you're slow. You're one of the
No, well, I
slow
know
ones.
that, but at the same time, whenever people run, it's just like it's just kind of like a signal that I need to light them on fire. I think that's kind of. I think that's
That's a
kind of
good
where I've
plan.
landed on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like a cat
know,
playing with a ball of yarn.
it's
Activate
just yeah. It's not even me.
If a lot of
honestly,
cats
like,
could set them on fire, they would set balls of fire.
Light 'em
on fire
up.
just to see.
How many types of damage can we do to one merchant?
So
Need to
That is
activate
a
the
success.
NFL concussion protocol.
let's
Go ahead
let's
and roll
find
me
out what
damage.
happened to this man today.
Technically, I believe that's going to be one of the
5.
ones.
Hold
No,
up.
it's not.
6, 7, 11 damage.
They had one wound remaining, or 2 technically, before they were going to go down. How are they going to spontaneously combust, my friend?
Well, you know, we got another classic case of he's on the run and flames just start to creep up his legs, like, because again, like he only had 1 health left, so this is an all-consuming. Flames start to creep up his legs, and he kind of looks down and notices as he just becomes engulfed with this fire, and I imagine he's screaming as he
He's
falls
definitely
down to the ground.
screaming.
Yeah.
You kind of have the idea that the moments before this individual's death, that the red haze left them, and they were just left with the sensations of burning to them.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you later, pal.
You had the
The
misfortune
screaming
of
will
running into
eventually
us.
become just a hoarse noise as the body slumps to the ground, and the fight is over. Aside from the terrified individuals who watched all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
just
what's your take on
clean-
this?
cleans
You
off
saw
her
this
chain
one
blade.
clearly. Which is a process, I imagine.
Yeah, she's just, you know.
Right, this is watched twice now as people just exploded into fire in
And
front
this
of her.
time, Risa could clearly see you and the individual, right? The face mask has got to have the fire reflected in it. Watching this body burning.
I'd like to file this information away for the time being, because I've got a lot of things I need to deal with,
Okay. Alright.
and I will deal with this. But right now we need to figure out what these people are what's overcoming these people.
We are.
we are.
Is the
Yeah,
the
we-
gladiator?
Suddenly they're
I'm
getting
actually-
crushed skulls. I don't even know how.
The gladiator is still in the fight pit. Is she not?
Yeah. So they kind of. That guy kind of burned to death right on the edge where the mud kind of. It's not very deeply resetted into the ground. It's
Yeah.
almost like an area of turf that's just kind of been dug into over time. And she is well aware of the situation. She's not running or even surrendering. She's kind of expecting to be talked to and is kind of wiping blood off bruised knuckles and things like that.
I'll just
And Yen gives a thumbs up.
I'll turn back to Ohm and say, Ohm, scan the body of the downed Mechanicus for any kind of clues, anomalies.
Ohm isn't going to acknowledge her. One of his hands is actively up inside of his hood.
Reconnecting.
Yeah, probing at the wounds he has. But his mechadendrite will slither out and give a look-see.
Okay.
Just so you know, you have light damage right now, Ohm.
Yeah.
That, I believe, 1 point is cured per night of rest, and that's not medical rest. That's just we're taking
Yeah,
a
it's
nap.
just-
And it is the end of you guys' day, more or less, right? You're gonna need to secure some form of food soon, and
I want to
water and-
I want to bend down really quickly and just talk to Yen for a second.
He's not that small. He's 5'4". He's not that small.
What is your name?
You
again?
replacing me already?
He.
Wait, is
Yen.
Yen Yen with us? I thought he was overwatching. No.
Yen's
Yen
right-
is with us, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yen
okay,
is right
okay.
there. It was just overwatching them.
Ah,
fight,
okay,
right?
okay. Got
Just
it.
leering
What
at
is-
another woman.
What is your name?
Yen Bonsell.
Yen.
We have met before, right?
I want you to
Came down
ask-
here together.
I want you to ask that woman if she knows any of these interlopers.
Hit those digits.
Yeah, sure. I can go ask her.
Thank you.
You want to come with, or want to here?
Smooth.
I'll stay here.
Okay.
And I'll just walk back over to Scythia, who's, I guess, still over by the guy with the
Yeah,
her throat.
she's moved from cleaning her chain blade to, in fact, digging through this man's pockets and checking him for anything that might be like identifiable or valuable or in any
sure.
way, useful.
Have you seen anything like this
Let me
before?
tell you.
Have I seen anything like this before? I mean, angry men, sure, plenty of times.
This was different. What
Then
does,
probably not.
what does Scythia find in the pockets?
So.
I'm so curious.
Pictures of his children.
Yeah, she's just like stooped over this. She's like stooped over this corpse. There's a giant hole in its chest that she made with a chainsaw.
He's got a locket of his sweetie back home.
There's not much.
Engagement
The
ring.
main thing you do find, and this kind of varies between where you are in the Imperium, what planet, what type of world, is essentially their work orders. This is what people were betting with. These people are wallers. They are the maintenance crew of the ship. Like I said, they don't fix complicated machinery. They don't know how it works, but they keep everything working. They fix the air and all that stuff.
She like reads through the paperwork quickly when she takes it out if there's anything like that, and
It's like where on the sheet their next job is, and like
Yeah.
it's clearly been sort of traded, and the names have been rubbed out and added back on and stuff like that. It's
Injured puppy
it
technique.
is.
she
Yeah.
casts that aside like whatever, I don't care. The one thing she does take and keep is the knife he was trying to kill her with.
Yeah. The only other thing of interest you find is a pack of really cheap iHo sticks.
Nice.
Which are essentially cigarettes.
She takes the pack and like offers one up to Risa. She wants it.
I'll take one.
Pizza.
Puts those in her pocket.
I'm just gonna take the flamer on the back of my hip right here and just hold it up and light the iHo stick. Put the
Hell
flamer
yeah.
Just on the igniter.
on the igniter at the end of the flamer.
That's really cool.
Yen. Has Yen dipped down into the fight pit to talk to the gladiator yet?
That's now.
Yeah.
We haven't given Yen a chance. Yen,
How's Yen doing?
How do you wanna talk her to the gladiator woman?
Yen would hop into the pit to walk over to her. Hey, nice fight in there.
Yeah? Got a little Mardy.
A little bit. I actually want to ask you, is that normal? Like a guy with red stuff on him? Not blood, red other stuff.
Blood's normal. I don't know what that was.
No one else has had that here recently?
Just sort of shrugs. Which is a big motion with how big her shoulders are.
Right. Well, I will say you did a very good job out there. Very entertaining.
Thanks. She's gonna give you like a shove in a somewhat endearing way.
Slugger.
Yeah.
Yen would stumble back a fair bit. He is not very resilient.
Your lot did pretty well. Don't know what you was doing around here. You're clearly not locals.
Well, we were just enjoying the fight, and some guy wanted to try and ruin it for us. Usual. I'm sure you must have seen it a few times here.
I'm not. Like, kind of looks at Risa. Not like under arrest or anything. Right?
Is she addressing me specifically?
Addressing Yen, but the question is asked loud enough that you can hear it, like deliberately.
It's happening.
Nice.
It's happening.
I just like
yeah.
to loudly say, not at the moment.
Yeah, you're cool. Risa's fine. It was understandable. You helped us.
Alright, sure.
You're losing her, man. Come on.
I'd like to get out of this. Am I good to go back to my quarters?
Yeah, I think we're all kind of done here.
Do you know these men?
Go
Are you familiar with these men? Do you know their names? Who are they? Surely you've worked with them before.
Seen them around. It's kind of hard to tell who's who after they had to shave all the guy's hair from the lice infestation in their hab block.
Do they do anything together? Do they interact together in secret? Are they social?
Anyone who's coming down here is doing it in secret, miss.
No.
Have you seen them together before?
Not outside of this. Nah. And that guy kind of points to the still kind of burning body down there. They're not even in our hab block. They're in the merchant hold. And from there.
I see. All right. You're free to go.
Great.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go grab bites to eat. Oh,
Takes you.
I mean, if you want to get a bite to eat together, we could. Again with wing.
You can make a charm roll.
Nice.
I've got
Come
one
on,
fate
Yed.
left. This is my chance.
You
Yeah, come on, bud.
it's a +0. You know, it's a challenging check, but not terrifying.
Get in there, bud.
Oh,
That is a 45 looking through a 30.
Oh,
I used my last fate here. Do
Yeah,
I
you
use
drops
my-
all of his spaghetti.
We're almost to the end of the round here. You can use that fate roll and try again.
You know what? I'm using my last
right, it
fate
is
roll.
the
There
This
you
is
go.
important.
We're getting laid!
Caius,
I-
real quick. Can Caius as a free action just use manipulate flame to make like a heart out of the burning corpse of the merchant?
Yeah.
Just
Lady
Yeah,
and
for
the
sure.
Tramp kind of thing. Oh, my heart.
just like, wow, what's that? And Caius just points over and he's like, hey, wow, is that a heart? Wow, that's crazy.
That's
Maybe
wild.
love is in the air. I don't know.
You can re-roll that charm roll whenever you're ready, friend.
Elevated pheromone levels detected.
Yen isn't so smooth.
He drops a handful of spaghetti onto the floor and starts crying.
I've got food. Just kind of looks back at you and like just sort of laughs a little and will sort of leave. On the way out, she's gonna kind of like kick a couple of the individuals who are clearly friends. They have like similar tattoos, and will kind of rouse them to get up and leave with her. But they're gonna leave basically the way you
maybe
came
another
in.
time.
I'll just address on the loud hailer.
Attention, citizens. You are free to go. Disperse
There is a collective sigh
immediately.
of relief. It's followed by frantic people trying to pick up their things and leave as quick as possible from this illegal fight pit back to their duties, or back to their habs for sleep, more or less. Because, like I said, it's the end of your day. Course ships like this tend to use Terran time. All over the Imperium, they use Terran time because it's ordained by the Emperor.
Rightfully so.
And it is more or less time for you to find somewhere to crash and eat for the night.
All right. So everybody's gone then.
Everyone will be leaving. This is quite a process. There are like 40 people, right? So they'll be leaving over
Shuffling out,
the
yeah.
next 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
I require food. Will anyone else join me?
Well, we can handle two things at the same time. That guy was from the merchant block, right? We go there, we get something to eat, and then we figure out where he was,
Exactly.
Working.
Can't get something to eat.
Ohm 13.
Acknowledged.
And then I'll just start walking towards the merchant block.
Off we go
Okay.
to the merchants.
Huzzah.
It is, yeah, and it's actually really nearby, right? Because remember when I described the ship? It's long palace near the engines at the back. That's where you guys have been. You've been making your way down like it's a Metroidvania. But this was in an area of the cargo hold. The rest of the cargo hold.
I'm sorry. Before we
ahead.
leave, would it be possible for Ohm to search the burned Mechanicus, or is he pretty much just
Yeah, if
done?
well, it's going to give you a negative modifier to your
Yeah.
awareness roll for sure. It's going to be a -20, but you can
why
see
not?
what you get. Yeah.
Yep.
Anything of use or value or importance has been melted down into molten slag.
Okay. They'll just follow behind the group then.
Do any of us have a quick method of contacting what's his name? Euron?
Well, if you knew the Vox frequencies the Sibilant Mechanici, the machine cult we're using, you could contact their cult, in theory.
Ohm 13 surely knows the frequencies.
No,
No.
but you could make maybe a check to try and decipher them, right? It's you working on that they're kind of an offshoot of the Mechanicus. That could definitely be something that you do. Another
Yeah,
way
you
would
can,
be Ohm kind of plugging into a console if he can find them nearby to communicate.
Yeah,
with
that's
them.
what
He's
he's
had a hard
been
time
looking
finding
at
them. Yeah.
the entire time.
Ohm 13 inform Euron to come pick up his Mechanicus.
In what fashion?
In whatever fashion is most expedient.
Unable to comply. There are no active integration nodes that I am aware of.
Very well. He'll know soon
This
enough.
is highly irregular.
Very well. So,
Ohm is going to follow behind the group, but there's going to be very heavy cogitation, clicks and whirs and everything going on.
Definitely trailing behind.
Is there could I do an awareness and see if I can find any sort of access panel?
You will find an access panel next session, right? We're so I'm gonna describe where you guys are getting to. You'll definitely find one. And then that can be like your own mission number 1 next session, right? Because the merchant hold needs to be able to communicate with the rest of the ship a lot more, right? You can kind of see why maybe that area of the cargo bay that had been converted into a farm didn't have anything. While it does have a lot of machinery that needs maintaining, it is the kind of machinery that, while it would be irregular and unideal, that the Warlers could maintain. They just had to know the right ways to communicate with the machine spirits and the right litanies of prayer. But the merchants, well, they're outsiders here, and they have a lot of equipment that needs tending to, and they also seem to have more dealings with the Mechanicus than the actual Warlers do, which is a little bit strange. But again, just kind of the strange nature of the Sibilants, the ship that you found yourselves in, the culture that has formed over 2 or so centuries of service has become quite odd, especially compared to other charterist vessels, and especially Imperial Navy vessels. Something that's the case for a lot of vessels that aren't specifically merchant ships is a merchant hold. A whole area of the vessel has become home to traveling merchants. The Sibilants comes by near their planet, they come aboard with all of their supplies, all of their crafting equipment, and they take up for the couple of months of journey, and then they get off wherever they're in the right sort of place. Or they stay here forever, or entire families are raised here, right? It's that's very normal, actually. It's probably the most normal thing aboard this ship. If you've ever been on a void ship before going anywhere, even if just between planets in the same solar system, this kind of thing has occurred. When you reach this area of the merchant hold, it is a very, very large cargo bay that has been slowly converted into into a hab town. There are buildings and towers and streets. Some of the buildings go all the way up to the roof, where there are kind of flickering lights that kind of feel like the sun of some planets, but is still pallid and unsatisfying. There are streets. There are a lot of open air sort of corner shops where people are selling their wares. There are advertisements. There are like billboards on the walls for massage parlors and taverns and inns and places to rest and things like that. Something that is overwhelmingly evident as you're walking through into this place is that the merchants hold aboard this vessel, similar to the machine cultists, have a penchant for fine craft. You see tailors making fine quality Imperial robes with a glass storefront, right? Little bit counteracted by the very secure metal rafters and things protecting it, and the bouncer outside the door with a chain blade, but still fine Imperial robes of fine quality, or probably working with the Mechanicus.
What's the chance of some nice weaponry in such a place that I might be able
This
to
is
acquire?
absolutely the place where you guys can start making influence rolls to see what you guys can acquire. That will definitely be a thing for next session, but how that works in the system is instead of having money or anything like that, it's purely trade. But as members of the you're not even members of the Inquisition yet, and even when you get to
As
Inquisitor,
hirees,
you're
two
not gonna
members of the Inquisition.
Yeah, there's a rating system, and you're not even.
We're not
grunts
on
of
it.
the Inquisition.
Yeah,
You're not
we're
even official workers, and you won't be when you get there. It takes some people entire lifetimes to just become a. I can't remember what it's called. There is a word for people who officially work for Inquisitors. But that being said, you can still throw your weight around. Your influence ability, a characteristic that people have, is a weight of how well they can trade with people, how well they can throw their weight around, what things they have on their person, and with trade as well, you can very much get some good supplies in this area. One of the things you guys will have to look for very early on will be actually a place to rest and for to repair and to get some food and things. And actually, we should make that roll before we end the session. But let me just look it up. It is a little bit easier to check up weapons than it is for services. When it comes to other crafts, sculptors. A lot of sculptors working in the streets. Every hallway you've gone through has had brilliant statues of
If you need a
largely-
sweet bust of your face, you can get it here.
If you need a sweet bust of your face, you can get it here. Largely, though, the sculptures are of cherubs or skulls or occasionally something like a space marine or something, a angel of death. Okay, so let me get the influence chart. Accommodation and provisions are two separate checks. Although, if you get a really good check on accommodations, it might be included, right? What kind of grade of accommodations you guys are looking for is up to you guys, and I will tell you the DCs of them in a moment. There's low grade, mid grade, and high grade. High grade is basically what you guys had when you got aboard the ship, and it's something none of you guys are comfortable with. High grade is not what you're looking for, unless you really want to be.
Give me that easy
big
low
digging it.
grade.
What is the difference between
Average?
low grade and medium?
Quality and shadiness. The descriptions as well, and what kind of roleplay will come of it. Mid-grade is kind of what you would expect. You see where they're advertising rooms for sale, you would go there, you would trade whatever you have or explain the situation or however the influence checks works, and you would get rooms for all of you, or maybe a room together, right? Like a little cabin quarters. Low grade is kind of like, okay, we have a room in the back where people are allowed to sleep. It's safe, but you're all sleeping there together, or you're sleeping in an area of the Grox farm, which they've kind of set aside, or things like that. Abundant checks are plus 30, which would be low grade. You can pretty much talk anyone into letting you sleep in their barn. A mid-grade regular accommodation would be a plus 0 check. You might want to discuss amongst yourselves who wants to use this when it comes to influence. Especially another thing that can happen is that influence is the only core characteristic that outside of upgrading can go up and down. There may be situations where you all get an influence boost, or you have spent influence in such a way that you will have less. Who wants to
I have a 35
use their
in influence. I don't know if anybody
This
has
is also
better
the kind of thing
35.
where you guys working together, so whoever was doing it will get a single plus 10, because it's like a group effort.
I have a 34.
My influence is 28, so ain't me.
Ohm is 33.
Yeah, I'm 29.
I got the highest influence. So I guess me and Risa go looking for rooms.
An influence check with a +10. Yeah, which honestly makes sense, right? You're kind of approachable, Scythia, despite being terrified of combat. Other people don't know that.
I am a regular human being. That's for sure.
Yeah. Rice has already gone through the brainwashing that the Adeptus Artemis went through, which makes them a little harder to talk to. Go ahead and give us the influence roll, Cynthia. You'll have a +10.
+10.
And that will be it.
I rolled a 91, so I did not get it.
You guys are going.
Actually,
Yes,
fate
yeah.
point.
End of the session.
Yeah.
Why
That'd
not?
be a time
Right?
to use it.
You roll.
Let's unload them.
I rolled an 86.
You've got another fate point.
Okay, I'll use the last one. Whatever. Let's go for it. I rolled a 71.
Oh.
You know, you're just getting closer and closer. I think this is important.
Yeah.
It was getting closer. If you rolled, what is
I
that?
don't have-
3, 4 more times.
I don't have any more fate. That's all my fate.
I've got
so.
2 fate points, so I could try to see if I can find anything through.
You can't re-roll other people's dice.
Can I
can I
attempt
roll my
an
own dice?
influence roll?
You were
Let's work
assisting
together.
there. So let me describe right now. This might be something that we come back to in a moment. But you guys are walking through the merchant block. You're quite the strange group. Now, not everyone aboard the Sibilance knows why you're here. In fact, nearly no one does. But you have been making quite a commotion. It's likely that some merchants came back from the bloodbath at the fighting pit with a story to tell. You guys are walking through the streets looking for places to stay, and doors are being shut, locked, sliding down and hissing shut. Windows are being closed. Cameras are kind of looking in your direction as people are keeping away of a wide berth. Anywhere that would have rooms for sale suddenly says no vacancy in the flickering neon, and the doors are suddenly locked. You are unwelcome here in the Merchant Hab. People here are terrified of you, Acolytes,
Nice.
after the bloodbath you have created. And I think that's actually a perfect place for us to end off today.
Cool.
Awesome. Attention, citizens. This is mean.
I'm just gonna hook onto a girder and lift himself up into a ceiling somewhere.
Just like curl up like a little cat.
Just sit there and repair himself.
So here's some cogitation, and then Ohm has disappeared. Like Batman.
He's,
Like Doc Ock, like just swooped
God damn it,
away.
he's in the vent.
Only comes
Get
out
him
at
outta
night,
here.
mostly. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Fable Scribes' third episode of DoomLore, a 40k story. We stream this show live in front of an audience every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific. If you're listening to our show on Stitcher or Spotify or YouTube, be sure to subscribe or download the episode however you can. Did I mention we have a YouTube? Come check that out. It's got all of our previous episodes and some intro videos as well. I want to give a very special thank you to everyone who has subscribed, donated, given bits, or otherwise been here to support the show. We're going to go through and introduce everybody one last time. We'll go ahead and start with Ollerant, our wonderful DM. Take it away, Ollie.
Well, it is my fault that everyone's being mean to you. Or else fault for rolling hot trash multiple times.
Definitely our fault for crushing 3 heads today,
That
so
is not my fault.
There is a mechanic in this system called subtlety, and your subtlety is not high. But that's also got fun in its own ways, especially when you're going to be the Acolytes of an Inquisitor and you can just start coming in being like, it's the Inquisition, open up, right? I await it, because the Sibilance is only part 1 of this story. Once it will eventually it will either reach its destination or explode in the far reaches of space. But if you like my storytelling, if you like what I do, if you like my energy, I'm doing a lot of things at the moment. Please follow me at OllyRant on Twitch and Twitter. Really enjoying a lot of Twitch streaming at the moment where we talk about a lot of tabletop RPG stuff. We're also doing some art streams on both commissions and maybe even some homebrew content for both D&D and other systems. So definitely check it all out there, and Twitter is the best place to find out about my other projects such as Schism that is coming out next year, a series of collectible board games set in worlds of my creation.
Well, we're all super excited to hear it. Can you spell your name for the audience, please?
That's right, OLIRANT. I've always spelled my name OLI. A lot of teachers in my life have been unable to fathom that fact.
Well, thank you so much, Ollie. Lucid Fox plays
Yes.
Caius. Introduce yourself. Say hello.
That's me. Hi, I'm Lucid Fox. I do streaming things 5 days a week on the morning times, talking about politics outside of this. So come by and hang out and have a good time with us. And I'm Lucid Fox on all the things, the Twitter and the Twitch and the Wiki feed. So come see me there.
And that's Lucid Fox with 2 X's.
With 2 of them, yeah. Not
Thank-
3. We don't do that anymore.
And not where you think.
Thank you so much, Lucid. Lock the Raven.
I'm Lock the Raven. I do a lot of role playing on Twitch, a lot of RPGs. Also, I play in the other Fable Scraps game, Star Trek Loveless.
That's right. Every
can-
Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Every Tuesday.
Where
you
can people find
God damn it.
Where can people find your content? But where can they find it?
Do you want to do one more?
Where can they find it?
There you go. They can find it at twitch.tv/LockTheRaven or on Twitter at LockTheRaven. That's LockTheRaven.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lock. Next up is Distracted Elf.
Hello. Sorry, I mute myself between
Elf
talk.
was
I lost the
distracted.
button.
That's fair.
I lost the
That's fair.
button there for a second. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf. You can also see me on Mondays at 1 p.m. PST running the Roll20 Presents Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign over on twitch.tv/D&D. And for those of you who don't know how to spell my name, it is the word distracted and the word elf. Jam them together. That's it.
Thank you so much, Elf. Enovan.
Hello there, I'm Enovan. I stream on twitch.tv. I typically stream VR games, mixed reality games with VR. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Enovan. And also Enovan on Twitter and Enovan on YouTube, where I upload edited down versions of streams.
Oh, that's awesome. And how do you spell Enovan?
Enovan is spelled Enevun. I also make memes.
Well, thank you so much, Enovan. You're wonderful. My name, of course, is Nicotine. That's Nikatine. I do a lot of Grand Theft Auto roleplay. I've been getting into a lot of tabletop. If you've never seen Grand Theft Auto roleplay, or you've only heard about it briefly, I encourage you to come check it out every day right now at twitch.tv/Nicotine, Nikatine. I'm also on Twitter at Nicotine Prime. And every Tuesday, Enovan and Locke and I and a few other wonderful people come and do another Fable Scraps show at 3 p.m. Pacific called Star Trek Loveless. It's a whole game set in the Star Trek universe. I encourage you to come check it out. It's also available on our Fable Scraps YouTube channel on Spotify and Stitcher as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next week with the 4th episode of DoomLore, a 40K story. Have a great night, everyone.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Untold masses of humanity are teeming throughout the stars. In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is only war.